Manneh, how do you feel after hearing the voice of the Ghanaian Gambians in Ghana town?
Yeah. It is distressing, it's annoying, and it's sad. Gambians who are entitled to citizenship being denied citizenship, because as far as I am concerned, a number of them are Gambians. Because their parents, a lot of them, their parents were born here before, came here before independence. And at independence in 1965, we said anybody who resided in the Gambia here was entitled to being Gambian citizen. So those people are Gambians, and their children are Gambians. There are people here who are married to Gambians, and they still refuse nationality. That is wrong. Those who are not entitled should go to the normal channels to look to get the nationality, and we encourage that. But those who are entitled to it should be given their nationality. That's the first point. Second point, even those who are not entitled to nationality yet, but whose parents and they themselves were born here and grew up here, if you refuse them Gambian nationality or Gambian documents, you make them stateless. So in terms of law, they do not even exist. You cannot have that because everybody is entitled to a legal existence. So you create ways for them to become citizens. And the international conventions we sign, the UN Conventions on Statelessness of 54 and 61, say that we must do all that we can to avoid people being stateless so that they can have some documents and be tied to a country. A number of these people don't even know Ghana. They will never go back to Ghana. They live their lives here. So help them, for those who are entitled to it, to become Ghanaian. Help them to become what it takes to acquire a nationality. You help the kids. If you tell me kids go to school up to grade 12 and they cannot go to university. Why? The ECOWAS treaty and protocols allow them to do that. Why do you refuse them their rights? The ECOWAS protocol says every ECOWAS citizen has a right to move across the ECOWAS borders and to reside wherever they want to reside. So don't allow them. And that precedence means they should be entitled to education facilities, they should be entitled to health facilities, they should be entitled to agricultural facilities, they should be entitled to anything within the country. So allow them that so that they can become fully fledged ECOWAS citizens in the country. If they want to become Gambians and they can apply for citizenship. Or you make it easier for those who have lived here or their parents and them have lived here all their lives, create a pathway to citizenship for them. See, those kids whose parents were born here and who were born here and who have lived there all their lives, when they turn 18, we should consider giving them nationality, particularly if they are in higher education and the rest. We define the criteria for the pathway to citizenship, but we must find a way to give those people the possibility to become Gambians.
So, Mr. Manneh, how do you think that the matter that the Ghanaian Gambians are facing in Ghana town can be resolved?
It can be resolved through us standing up for their rights. It can be solved by us fighting to make sure that what they are entitled to is given to them. We are not saying that those who are not entitled to nationality should be given nationality. No, we are not saying that. We are not advocating illegality. But we are saying those who are entitled to it should do it. And if it means going to the courts, we should help them go to the courts and get their rights established. But what is certain is when UDP comes to power, we will make sure that we audit all of these cases. So those people who are entitled to nationality and who have been refused nationality should be given nationality. Those who are not entitled to it, we show them the pathway to go by to get nationality. If they want to stay here and get a Gambian nationality, we should do that. We should be fair to them. We have our kids, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, our aunts who live in other countries in Europe and North America. And we wish them to have the papers of those countries, to have the nationality so that they can live there happily, work there, and then raise their kids. We want that for our Gambian brothers and sisters who are out there. Why can't we consider something similar for people who are here too? We are not saying you should naturalize every foreigner. No, we are not saying that. But the ones who are entitled to it, who are deserving, consider giving them nationality. That is important. Because then we're attracting new talent, we're attracting other people. We shouldn't just be closing ourselves to the outside world because we have sclerosis at that point. Let's bring in talent, let's bring in new people, let's give the opportunity. These people have chosen to become Gambian. Most of them don't even know Gambia. Most of those people here, I know Ghana more than them. Most of these people are not going back to Ghana. They are going to live here. So help them find a way to become Gambian, because that's what they have chosen. So I think that is the way.
What are your words? What are your last words about this matter?
My last words are: let's have a heart. Let's be humane. I just can't fathom how you can deny a child a right to education, even if they are not ECOWAS citizens. I can't understand why you can deny a child a right to education, a right to a future, particularly when they are ECOWAS citizens. Apply the law. Follow the rule of law. Give them the chance and the right to become Gambians. Help them to realize their potential. And we use that potential here in the Gambia. The talent we have, if we use that talent here, it stays in the Gambia. It makes the Gambia better, richer, wealthier, and more money from taxation. So do that. When we get our kids who study in the US for a bachelor's or a master's program or a postgraduate of some sort, they study there for 2-3 years and then they stay in the US, and all the money we've invested in them, we lose it to the US. They become US citizens and the talent stays in the US. Let's use the same here too. Get foreigners who are here, who are deserving, who are talented, who have studied, who have degrees. Let's help them to become citizens. So we keep the talent here. So I think that is the way forward.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Please tell us your name.
My name is Honorable Fatou Cham, the National Assembly member for Sanneh Mentereng constituency, which Budford Ghana Town is part of. In fact, the name Sanneh Mentereng is just close to Budford Ghana Town. Yeah.
Okay, Honorable, as a member of the National Parliament, what are your plans in resolving the issue that the youths of Ghana Town have been discussing?
Well, I am not calling this difficult, and I would say it's easy, because this should have been easier. Issuing a national document to the citizens of Ghana Town, the citizens of this country, because they are, of course, we have our 1997 Constitution. Section 9 and Section 10 clearly states the rights to citizenship, and Section 10 clearly states the citizen by descent, and of course there is naturalization. And in our Constitution equally, one of the parents, or whom one of the parents is a Gambian, is surely qualified to a national document to become a citizen, and which some people in Ghana Town have all that qualification. So it is easy. It is easy for them to have access to the national document, because there are Ghanaians whom got married to Gambians and they bear children. So those children are Gambians. And there are Ghanaians who were here, who came to this country, and they are still residing in this country well before the independence of the Gambia. Those people are Gambians. So in solving this matter, it's not difficult. I am calling it is not difficult. It should not have been difficult unless and until the executive politicize it. When they have the qualification to have access to our national document, why would they have access to our voters card, as I said earlier? According to their secretary, the Ghana Town secretary, the VDC secretary, they do their congress, they have their village development committee, they have their alkali. The executive will not tell me that they are not aware of that. Why would they allow them to have a village development committee? Why would they allow them to have an alkali? And why would they equally allow them to have access to our national document as important as the voter's card? Someone you're calling a foreigner. And why would the President Barrow come and stand before these Ghanaians, he said, that these people are foreigners? Why would he come and stand before them, campaigning them, when they are still calling them foreigners? Why would I come stand before a foreigner and campaign him for him to vote for me? Why would I do that as a president? when you know all the rights, that they are not qualified to become Gambians, as alluded by them, that they are calling them foreigners. So a president with all his senses will come and stand before these foreigners, asking him or asking them to vote for him. Whom are they fooling? Is President Barrow fooling himself, or is he fooling the Gambians? But I think he's trying to fool the Ghanaian Gambians. But I know the Ghanaians with their all senses, the 5 common senses, that they will never be fooled again. So this matter is easy to solve. Because since the president has been here, asking them to vote for him so that he will become a president, then they are Gambians. Because otherwise, he would not have stepped his foot in this Ghana town, asking for their voting right. So the way to solve this matter, of course, I'll take this to Parliament, and I will discuss it with the minister, and of course, I will discuss with the executive, any ministry or the line ministry or any immigration member that happen to discuss this with me will understand the Constitution and will understand the rights vested in these people, that they are qualified to this national document. So it is easy to solve.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.